The next thing we did was an intermediate waltz class. And from there, first we started out with an inside turn for the ladies. And it goes 1, 2, 3. We then did an outside turn, 4, 5, 6. We're going to do an inside turn to set up for a guy's turn. It went 1, 2, 3. Now the guys are going to turn across 4, back 5, forward 6, lifting the hand over the hip. We're now going to stride, doing an outside turn for the ladies, guys. We're going to stride 1, turn her 2, 3. I got to move back just a little bit because we're running out of room. And she swoops and goes 4, 5, 6 as we pick up 2 hands in front. Okay? From there we did this little neck wrap thing. We call it a neck wrap. It's a rotating neck wrap. Actually it travels down line and dance. And it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, picking up both hands in front. Okay? Now from there, we did 2 of those. We did 1 more, and it goes 1, 2, 3. But on the second one, we just release the right hand, pick her up, and go to closed. 4, 5, 6, and we're right back into our basic. All right? So it was just inside and outside turns for the ladies, outside turn with an outside turn for the guys, and the neck wraps back to closed. From there,
Nicholson again, this is Sarah Rogers. She's going to help me again with the beginning waltz class. First thing we talked about in the beginning waltz class is footwork. Footwork is what's going to create your rise and fall, and that's what's going to make your waltz look like a waltz. So we just real briefly covered this because it's something that you have to practice for a long period of time. Okay? Just thinking about your forward steps only, thinking heel, toe, 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 heel. That's where your foot rise comes from with your rise and fall. Now that's not the only thing that helps you with rise and fall, but that's the most important thing, because one of the things that really happens with a lot of people is they'll go heel and up and then they're done, and then they'll go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for most people the entire amount of rise and fall happens only on the 1 count or the 4 count, and it needs to happen all the way through. So we talked about it being a 1, 2, 3, down, keep going down, 4, 5, and then 6. So your rise and fall, and then lowering at the end of 6. So your rise and fall is more of a continuous or continuity rise and fall, instead of just the laying the egg type movement with the plop, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So keep that in mind when you're practicing that. Get your footwork to the point where you can control it. One of the things about practicing footwork is that it strengthens the arches of your feet as well as your lower legs and your ankles. And if those muscles aren't strong enough, you'll find that proper footwork in waltz is really difficult. And it's only because the muscles aren't strong enough to hold you. Okay? So if you practice footwork only, heel, toe, 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 heel, heel, toe, 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 heel, that's forward. Going backward, you're going to go toe, heel, so you're pretty much going to stay flat here. Your rise is going to begin as far as this part on your second step. So your next back step is going to be a toe only, and then it's toe, heel. So it's toe, heel, toe, toe, heel. Going backwards. It's really a lot simpler to go backward. Toe, heel, toe, toe, heel. Toe, heel, toe, toe, heel. I'm not supposed to go behind the post. So when you're practicing, mostly practice forward. That's what most people have really a lot of difficulty with. And that's the thing that's going to really strengthen your legs and your feet and your ankles anyway. Okay, is practicing that. So that being said and done, then we went into a pattern that you can also use for your beginning waltz, and it's a really good pattern to practice footwork with. First thing we did was an open twinkle. Okay, or an open move where we're going to start from closed position. We're going to step 1, we're going to turn 2, we're going to turn to conversation or promenade position, and we're going to go and 3. Your follow through there is what's going to give you the hover effect or the style that we want in the waltz. That gives it that nice kind of a hovering and then lowering into. Okay, a lot like you would like a parasail or a hang glider. You hover and then you dive, and then you hover and then you dive. Okay, so it's got that little graceful look to it. So what we want to do is 1, 2, and feet come together but they don't change weight. Step back out, 3. Then we come back in, 4, 5. Again, we're going to follow through and at the top of our rise and step on through on 6. That's called a continuity ending. You'll hear the continuity ending a lot when you learn open style waltz. So we're going to go from here, 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. Something else that we talk about in beginning waltz class is your posture versus a swing posture or two-step or polka posture. Waltz really needs to have a tighter lower body posture because that's what lifts you up through the rib cage and that's what gives you that nice graceful waltz look. If you have your same swing posture for your waltz, you've got this going around the floor and it doesn't make any difference how good your rise and fall is. It isn't ever quite as fluid, and your balance isn't ever going to be as controlled either. So keep that in mind. Now what we did was we took our open step and we turned that into an open right turn. You'll hear this called a roundabout as well. So an open right turn we did 1, 2, and 3. That's the open twinkle. Now we're going to go around her. 4, 5, and 6. Now she's going to come around me. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're back to our continuity ending. 4, 5, and 6. Now we don't have to do it with 2 6s. If we wanted to continue the open rights, we could continue those. And that's a really good way to motor yourself around the floor with 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. She comes around 1, 2, and 3. I go around 4, 5, and 6. She comes around 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we can do this indefinitely. You can just keep moving this around the floor. So if you're trying to get around a crowd of people, this is a really good moving step to get you around. And then when you're finished, you can come right out of it. There are all kinds of turns that you can add to that. You can add outside turns or inside turns to those patterns, to that step. But again, just like anything, if you don't do the basic part of it really, really well with good technique and with good style, all you're going to do is defeat the purpose when you add more turns to it. So really think about practice the footwork, practice the posture, keep your lower body tight, and then go from there. We'll be back in a second.
Hey, the first class we did was a waltz, and we just worked on some basic things in the waltz class. To start off with, we did just a little 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Get the lady set up to go to a wrap position for 4, 5, 6. Okay, because that's what we started off with. Then we just did some rolls out and roll in. Let me just show you a couple of different ways. One was just to turn the lady 1, 2, 3, and the man could roll in on a 4, 5, 6. Okay, then he could roll back out on the 1, 2, 3, and he can roll the lady back in for the 4, 5, 6. All right, and that was just the basic form of it. The actual pattern that I showed you was to do a 1, 2, 3, take the lady for a outside turn on the 4, 5, 6, put this little stop sign up and do a 1, 2, 3, and then take her back the other way for 4, 5, 6. Then we're going to take her to wrap for 1, 2, 3, and then from the wrap position here, we finish off with the 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. Then we did the roll out, roll in. Lady rolls out, guy rolls in on the 1, 2, 3, walk 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we finish that off with a walk. 1, 2, 3, and bring the lady in front. 4, 5, 6. Okay? Those turns, if you were in that class, took you right into what we did in the intermediate class that I did for the second class this weekend. And that's, we still started with a turn after a 1, 2, 3, but we're going right for an inside turn right away on the 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6. At the same time, we're not staying in line with the lady, we're coming up beside her so that we can do a carousel on the 1, 2, 3, and then do a free spin with the lady for the 4, 5, 6. This set us up now, and one thing I didn't say in the class, but what you may want to do so you can get closer to the lady and that you can get in a better position with her, is just do a serpentine for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 before you follow with the inside turn so you can get better floor position, catch up to her better. Okay? We followed that with the lady's inside turn, 1, 2, 3, and then we're catching her on the hand and go on into another carousel on the other side, 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6. Remember guys, you want to try and get your arms to point where you want the lady to spin to, especially when you're doing this one around this side. She did a free spin, for 1, 2, 3, and then you turned her again for the 4, 5, 6. This is optional. You could just do a serpentine here, or you could do a double spin of the lady, which we're going to do, which was 4, 5, 6. And as the lady finished her pivot on her left foot for 6, kept her right foot back, we're ready to then go into the second half of that, the last 8 measures of the class, which went 1, 2, 3. We did an outside turn of the lady, letting go with our right hand, 4, 5, 6. And this took you, after that outside turn, man's hammerlock position. You let your right hand come around behind her for a back bow position. And that takes us into a wheel here. Man's left foot, lady's right foot for 1, 2, 3. And then as the lady steps forward, she's going to do a sweep as the man turns to face her on the 4, 5, 6. That was the first 4 measures. We finished taking that back to dance position with some shadow serpentines, which went, lady went forward, 1, 2, 3. She goes forward again, 4, 5, 6. Now the guy came across forward, 1, 2, 3. Then we walk side by side for 4, 5, 6. And then you're ready to bring the lady in front, 1, 2, 3, or to take her to promenade. Okay? That was the waltz portion of the 2 things. We'll be right back with some more of my classes. Hey, it's waltz time again. The other intermediate waltz class that I had, I did one thing with you. Remember, ladies, I showed you how to do a syncopated turn, and guys, how to do a syncopated chasse. This is what makes this work. Remember, when I taught you to do that, guys, remember I told you a little bit about how to make the lady feel the difference between a normal timing turn of just a 1, 2, 3, and a syncopated turn that would go 1, 2, and 3. And it was the dynamic movement of the arm. So as the lady steps forward with her right foot on 1, and I go to turn her, I want to create a little speed right there to let the lady feel that speed, okay? Now ladies, what you have to do is try not to turn too far. So as you turn, you did 1, 2, and 3. And then you were set up, ready to step back on the next 4 count. Remember, like I said in all the classes, come back to a dance position. That's how far you turn. The man doesn't really have to reach out and stop you so much. He just has to let your arm down, and he's going to expect you to go into that dance position, which from right now is an outside partner, serpentine type position. Guys, we talked about the chasse 1, 2, and 3. And then you do it again. As the lady does a normal timing turn, you did a 4, 5, and 6, which kept you on your normal footwork, left foot on 1, and it put the lady onto your footwork. And we'll get the lady back out of that in a bit. Anyway, the pattern looked like this. We did a twinkle for 1, 2, 3. We did a roundabout type movement for 4, 5, 6. We did that syncopated turn for 1, 2, and 3. We turned the lady into a wrap position, a locked wrap position in front of us. We chasse. Ladies did normal timing for 4, 5, 6. Man's footwork was 4, 5, and 6. We let the lady's hands go here, and she takes them back out to a neutral position as we just do a walk, walk, walk in behind her. Okay? And our next part, we're just doing a tick-tock. We turn one way is the tick, back the other way is the tock. To the right for 1, 2, 3, or actually that's 4, 5, 6 now. Back the other way on 1, 2, 3. The next part here, we just do a right turn for 4, 5, 6. And then we do another turn for 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to let the lady out of it, and we're going to have the man fake for 4, 5, 6. Then we're just going to do some side-by-side twinkles, call them passing twinkles, whatever, but we're going to embellish the hand movement just a little bit for 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to let my left hand come over my head again on the 4, 5, 6 as the lady passes across the front of me. I pass across the front of the lady. And we bring the lady across one more time, 4, 5, 6. We're going to do one more roundabout, 1, 2, 3. One more syncopated turn, 4, 5, and 6. And it gets the lady back on her footwork, 1, 2, 3, and the man back onto his. That'll give, all told, the guy did 3 syncopations and 1 foot fake. The lady did 2 syncopations, so it keeps her on her footwork overall. Okay? The whole pattern, without stopping, looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, and on out. Okay? I got one more class, and we're going to be right back with that. I'm A.T. Kinson.
And this is what we're taught in our intermediate advanced waltz class.
And starting with the side step for the guy and a side step for the lady, I ask her to do a ronde and a developpe with her right foot. 1, ronde, 2, kick, 3. Walk her out of it and turn the opposite direction. 1, 2, 3. I ask her to step back and do a developpe. 1, 2, 3. An underarm turn to a promenade over sway. 1, 2, 3. We both step forward. 1, sway back. 2, 3. We step behind and hold. 1, 2, hold, 3. We do a chassé and promenade. 1, 2, and 3, and out. 1, 2, 3. Back to continuity ending. I'm going to do it from this side so I can show you the man's part. I take a side step. 1, 2, 3. Staying off for her, arching back to my right. I take the forward walking steps. 1, 2, 3. Change in sides, develop a. 1, 2, 3. Underarm turn to promenade over sway. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Hinge back. 1, 2. Hold 3. Step. 1, 2. Odd 3. 1, 2, 3. That was our intermediate advanced waltz. Starting long, A.T. Kinson, thanks for coming to the Raleigh workshop.
Bye-bye.
Worked on in the waltz class was a beginner to intermediate class, and we talked about the rise and fall. We talked about truly trying to do rise then fall, not falls then rise. We find a lot of social movement working such as this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're trying to encourage you to compress and drive through 1, up on 2, up on 3, and down at the end of 3. Notice 1, 2, 3. Settling in. Notice 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Drive up and rock, fall. Drive up, then compress. We showed a couple exercises how to work this for you. Remember, compressing through the knees, coming up through the knees, and then driving up through the balls of the feet, down through the feet, back into the knees, isolating each of these different movements. We practiced a nice little beginner piece from closed position. We went to promenade. Notice 1, 2, 3. Turning our partner out and driving her up. Now the space is kind of limited here for the videotape, so I want you to really understand the movement up the line of dance would probably be much more. The next movement, we simply holding our partner in this promenade position, leading up the line of dance 4, and then bringing around 5, 6, right back into the closed position. So the first piece that we did looks something like this. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. The next piece we did, we went simply back to the promenade position. 2, that's 3, 2, 3. Then 4, 2, 3, we led her across the line. 4, 2, 3. 5, 2, 3, brought her back across to the promenade position. 5, 2, 3, releasing her right hand and gentleman crossing over. 6, 2, 3. Ladies, of course, coming across. 7, 2, 3, picking the hand back, coming back to close. 8, 2, 3. That movement should look something like this. Back to back. Just kidding, y'all know what I'm talking about. Consecutively should look something like this. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. 5, 2, 3, 6, 2, 3, 7, 2, 3, 8, 2, 3. We talked about different ways to make the work with the music a little bit. One of them was to add in the chassé, which is a syncopation that adds an extra weight change. Notice, gentlemen, you drive through 1, 2, and then you add an extra beat by stepping into 3 and then adding 3. Notice, 1, 2, and 3. And you simply take the center of her body and encourage additional movement through it.
1, 2, then you add an extra and 3. You're simply making 4 weight changes where you made 3, and you're going to be right back on the same footwork. The other one we did was we took away weight change. We simply let our partners into the 1, then we held the motion for and then we stepped her to 2. And instead of making 3 weight changes, we only make 2 weight changes. So again, we would remain on the same foot. One looks like this, 1, 2, and 3. And the other one looks like this, 1, 2, 3. Practice this on the timing. This comes into play where they add extra little tags to the music. We used Saturday Night off of the Common Threads album, and we had plenty of spots in there for us to practice these ideas. I hope you enjoyed our beginner to intermediate waltz, and just practice trying to do that drive and the rise and fall. Remember what we talked about? The material coming through the sewing machine, then making a stitch. Through, make a stitch. Through, make a stitch. And maybe we can get some sharp looking waltz out on the dance floor. Thanks again, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Let's go into the waltz, the intermediate waltz class that we did. We did an open left turn. Open left turn being the harder of the turns, so that's why you don't see it very often. Both people's part for this is the forward, side, and then backward. And then I would go back, side, and then forward. Okay? From the lady's point of view, she's going to start with back, side, forward, and she's going to end with forward, side, back. Okay? We'll do this from a couple of different angles so you can see it, and we'll possibly get it all in there. Can you see me, Joe? Okay. We're going to go forward, side, back, back, side, forward. I was calling off the guy's footwork there. Okay? Let's still go on the other way, and we'll do the ladies. Can you see us okay here? Come in. All right. And back, side, forward, forward, side, back. Okay? That's going to be where you're going to use closed position for the first 2 steps. 1, and then on 2, we start to move to that side by side. And then on the 3, we're stepping through, and we're in that right side or that side by side position. Same thing on 4, 5, 6. We go 4, we're back in closed. We go 5, okay? And then at the end, we're back into that side by side position. Okay? Catch it?
Yep.
Okay. Then using that into the advanced class. The advanced waltz class for the guys, ladies, your part doesn't change on that left turn, but for the guys, we do a heel turn. And this is to take us through a corner. Much like if I'm headed this direction and I've got my partner, I'm going to go my forward, side, and my back step. Now I'm going to step back, and I'm going to bring this foot around and just plant here, just plant the toe, and I'm going to do a heel turn that enables her to come all the way around me. Okay? So when you see that danced, she's going to come all the way through this turn, still the left turn, but now it's overturn. 2, 3, and I go 4, 5, 6. Her footwork doesn't change. She overturns it, and my heel turn anchors me in place or keeps me in place, so I can go ahead and go into another turn. Okay? And I can turn this and keep this in a very small area even though I'm turning left. Okay? We'll do this a couple of times so you can see it. So it's 1, 2, 3. That's forward, side, back for me. Now I'm going to go back, and I place the toe behind, and I do my heel turn as she steps side and back. And we go into it again. Forward, side, back. She's going back, side, forward. I'm going to do my placement of my foot backward. I'm going to place my toe. She's going to go side and back. So we can keep that overturning the whole time. We worked on that. Then we worked on the follow-through, or the follow-through of the footwork. 1, 2, and is where you're going to be at the top of your rise and fall, or on your way to the top of your rise and fall, and then 3, and then you compress down. And the same thing here, 4, 5, and your feet are together, 6. Okay? Then we worked on a crossbody lead. Crossbody lead from that same open left turn, much easier. Guys, now we're going to step to that back position. We're going to step back in front of her. We're going to open to a promenade, and we're going to step sideways. And then we're going to bring her, and we're going to step across, at which point she is going to swivel, and we can lead her right into a turn, into something else. We'll do that coming towards you. So here's our open left turn. 1, 2, 3, and the crossbody lead, swivel, and right into a turn. Okay? Let's do that from one more angle, going this direction. 1, 2, 3, and the crossbody lead, and the turn. Okay? From there you can take her into a side step if you wanted to. Let's just go from the crossbody lead, and we'll do a couple of different options that we showed in class. Start with your left. So we're going to step 4, 5, 6. We lead the turn. 1, 2, 3. And guys, we're just going to shoot to the side and move. 1. Okay? This hand coming down and giving her a real solid stance here. We'll just do the side hesitation. So we're coming out of the turn, and we shoot right into this, and this being really solid right here, so she can feel that we want her to hold. If you want to, you can take her into a break step. Okay? So that would be 1, and then 2, 3. You can take her out into a turn. 1, 2, 3. And you can pick her back up on 4, 5, 6, or however you wanted to do it. We'll give you a couple of different options. Okay? And that was what we did in the waltz class.